Hi there, friends. This is Barb Ryder with your Make-A-Wish flash class. So you should have received your kits already, and I'm just going to create the cards, giving you some tips and tricks as you go along, and the measurements here in the video. There's not a PDF tutorial, just the very detailed class that we're doing right here, right now. Okay? So you should have received your package with all your card kits and everything to make the cards, along with your stamp set, Make-A-Wish. We're going to use every stamp in the set. Okay? All right. So the things that you'll need, your basic black. I am using my tuxedo black. I did use cloud cover and peacock. And the rest of the things are done with lots of blends, okay? So you should have received the dots that go with the card that they go with, and your ribbon, which is the gray granite ribbon. And then you can color them whatever color you'd like, okay? I'm using Granny Apple Green blends. I'm using Lost Lagoon, Pool Party. I've got Old Olive in here. I have my Lifter. I have Poppy Parade. This is Timid Tiger Light. Let's see, is this Balmy? No, that's Pool Party. Gray Granite and Crumb Cake. Let me see here. Let's see, Gray Granite, and this is light crumb cake. Oh, and this one is the light pecan pie. So I think that's all the different colors I have in here. So just a variety of colors to coordinate with the cards. Okay? All right, so I'm going to move these things out of the way and grab them as we need. And of course, scissors, different adhesives, that kind of thing. So the first card we're going to start out with is this one right here. It is just simply easy, and we're going to start out with that. Now I am using my cloud cover ink pad. You can use another color if you'd like, but that's what I chose to go with. So let me see. I'm going to try to put this where you can see it the whole time I'm stamping. I'm going to try my best to pay attention to what we're doing here. Excuse me, so you can see. All right, so cloud cover, and take your envelope and pull all your pieces out. You have a vanilla envelope for this one. Card base 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And let's just use that bone folder and get that nice and crisp. And then you have several pieces in this envelope. You have the basic vanilla 4 by 5 1/4. You have a piece of the basic beige, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Actually, you have two pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4. One's for the inside and one's for the front. Then you have two more, another layer here. Vanilla is 2.5 by 4 1/4, and then it's going to get layered onto the cloud cover, which is 4 3/8 by 2 5/8. And then your sentiment is going to be on a piece of vanilla, which is 3/4 of an inch by 2.5. And your cloud cover is 7/8 of an inch by 2 5/8. Okay, so all your layers are cut for you. If you want to write them down and do another card with the similar, I would suggest going that route. So let's see, we're going to be stamping on your basic beige. You're going to be stamping on the smaller vanilla and the smaller vanilla. These are layers and layers. Okay, let's put these aside for the moment. and let's go ahead and stamp. Now you can use whichever sentiment you like, but it's your day. Make a wish. That's the one I did for this card. So I'm just getting that one right here. Ink that up. And again, this is just all done with cloud cover. And that will get stamped just like that. Okay. And then next, got my cleaner right over here by me. I'm gonna put this here so I know what I've done. Next, we're going to use the wishing well, and we are going to stamp that onto this piece here. Well, we're going to stamp on here too, but we're going to start with that one. So I am going to just make sure that I am inked up very well with my wishing well, and I'm going to come up a little bit because I want to stamp some little some of the grass, I guess, underneath the well here. Okay, so let's grab, like I said, I've already put all of them on blocks, and so I'm just going to make my grass all around the well. Some of it's going to be covered up with the sentiment, but I'm still going to go ahead and, I didn't get that very good, did I? There we go. And fill that in. I want one more there. Okay. There's our grass. Kind of keeping my ones that need to be cleaned up here in front of me and other ones over to the side. We need to stamp our little bucket for the water, or that goes down in the well, where you throw your penny in, where you make a wish. Ooh, my glare from my light. I got to get my head down in here. Want to make sure that my little you want to make sure that your stem is up on your, right on your pole there. It's not really a stem, it's supposed to be like rope, right? Okay, there's that. Now we're ready to stamp the wishing well onto the, I feel like I got something on my fingers here, but maybe I don't. I don't see anything. Okay, we'll go that route. All right, get the wishing well back, and we are just going to randomly stamp on the basic beige. Okay, and I'm just going to start out. I want to see part of the well there. Beautiful. And then we're just going to stamp right there. Just going to fill in the card, and some of it you won't see, but I want to make it look like you can see everything, you know. I don't want it to look exactly. Let's do that. And come in here. Let's see if I can stamp that there. And let's come down here a little bit. So mainly what you're going to see is whatever is really here on the side. So we're not going to do anything up there. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll put a little bit of that at the top there. Okay. Now we need the little bucket to look like our main focal point. So that goes there. We need one over here. And I think this one's covered, but I'm going to still stamp one just in case. All right, just like that. I think that's all the stamping. Unless you want to stamp something on the inside of your card, you can do that. All right. Stamping's all done, so now that card is really complete. We're just going to put it all together here. So let me do that. Layers here. Back up here. Okay, let's bring in our layers and put this together. First layer is our sentiment, so that will get popped up as we put it all together. So that's going to layer with that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. There we go. And then we have our main focal point here. That's going to go onto the cloud cover. That's 1/8 of an inch. Just like that. Okay. And then we have our card base. And we have 4 by 5 1/4 vanilla. One for the inside, one for the outside. I think this is a stamp set. As I had mentioned when I advertised for the Flash class, this is a stamp set that's very different, but it's one that I think got overlooked a lot in the catalog, the January through April catalog. All right, so first layer, that's going to go on the card base, vanilla. And then our stamped basic beige. Has about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then this is our focal point, and again, this is flat. We're only going to use dimensionals on our sentiment that's popped up. So that's going to come right over in here. That looks good. And just a little bit at the top. There we go, into the left. Just like that. And then let's take a couple dimensionals and pop this up. And, oh, we got to put vanilla on the inside. I did not do that yet. Did I? I'm looking for the vanilla. Maybe I did. Did I? I sure did. Goodness gracious. Okay, so your sentiment is going to go down kind of over here where it covers up a little bit of that grass. Just like that. It's your day. All right, card number 1. It's not a very big and bold card, so it really could work as a masculine card, to be honest, when you see this in person. Okay, there's card number 1. Card number 2. Let me put these in the envelope. Card number 2 is fun. This is card number 2. And you have all the parts and pieces here with the white envelope. We'll go over the sizes here. I've already pre-embossed. This is 2-tone cardstock with the color is the petal pink. Petal pink 2-tone cardstock. Okay, so card base 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then you have, this is gray granite, which is going to coordinate with your ribbon, and it is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And your embossed piece. Now, if you want to have it look more white, if you want to take your anything that is like a little sander, I have this block that I have, and you can just rub this across. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it actually, see the white? It will 2-tone, it shows through and gives you the 2 tones of the cardstock, okay? So let's do that. Now when you do this, make sure that, because this is rubbing off the paper, and you're going to have little like sand, and so make sure that you kind of get that out of your way when you're working. All right, so there is my base layer, that's embossed layer, I guess you'd say. That's going to go on to my gray granite, and 1/8 of an inch is what we have all around the edges. Okay, just like that. And then we will be putting ribbon around. So let me grab that bolt of ribbon. This is going to come around here, tie this on. So yeah, this is a coloring class, so if you like to color, I thought this was a great designs. Okay, let's get that there. There we go. And you play with your bow to get it how you want it to be, because you're going to have your arch there. There, kind of sideways. Okay. Oops, too much. There we are. All right, let me grab the scissors. Where did I put those? Here's my ribbon scissors. And let's cut that, and then let's angle this piece a little bit there. It's kind of getting crazy. All right, so there is that layer that we're gonna put our stamping portion on. Actually, we can go ahead. I think we can go ahead and put this down to our card base. We might as well, because then you have less pieces floating around everywhere. Okay, beautiful, just like that. All right, there's our base. We are going to use the black and do some coloring. Our sentiment is going to be stamped with Pretty Peacock, so let's go ahead and stamp that. Wishing you a magical day. Make a wish, and wishing you a magical day. Here we go. Okay, let's get this inked up. There we go. And then we're just going to fussy cut this out. You got a plenty big enough piece that you can do that. Okay. We'll be using the peacock for the little dragonflies in just a minute, so we'll do that. Let's go ahead and just cut this out and just see how, I mean, it really doesn't take a long time to do fussy cutting. I know some people are like, oh, I hate fussy cutting. I get it. So whichever makes you happy. If you don't want a fussy cut, then you can use you got plenty of space here if you want to use a die to cut it out from your kit, or if you're just recreating these on your own, yeah, use what you like. So let's go around here. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, but I understand if the fingers don't work like they used to. I get it. All right, let's go around here and there, and just come right up. Now, if you like this video, I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, that you will subscribe, because I would love to have you check my projects out every time that I upload one. Okay, so that's going to go right there. So let's do our stamping on our beautiful arch here. Basic black, where did you go? Or not basic, but memento. Okay, we're going to do this, and I'm not going to clean I stamped off and it was a light color, so I think I'm good. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure this is inked up really good with the black. Okay. All right. Okay, and then this is going to get stamped pretty close to the bottom. Just like that. Okay. Oops, I got it a tad crooked, but I think we'll be all right. It's a homemade card. I am going to go ahead and clean this since I did it in the black. And actually, just quickly, I'm going to run through and clean these off. We're going to do the pot of flowers bucket in this one, so let me grab that right here. And since we're coloring all these, we'll be using the black quite a bit. And get that right there. And show you a little trick using the Post-it notes here. We're going to stamp the dragonfly. We're actually going to do that in the Pretty Peacock. But I have these little Post-it notes here. And I don't know if you can see, but if you could look close, see how you have the dragonfly, and I kind of masked this off so it did not show. So what I'm going to do is, I should have stamped that quickly before I want this to basically kind of mask off the piece here, but it's got to be a little bit smaller. The best thing to do is stamp it onto your Post-it note and then cut around. See, it's still, I'm so surprised that it's still not skinny enough. Okay, let's try one more time. Hopefully I got it this time. Yeah, that's pretty good. That should work all right. Okay, so there's that. All I want to do is mask off the post so that my dragonfly looks like it is flying behind the post. That's the idea. So let's get this little guy inked up in, and I'm going to make sure that is down there, and let's stamp that just like that. See how he's coming from behind, and then he has the little sprig behind. Now this side, I'm going to just, I think what I'm going to do, let's ink him up again. Now you can stamp the dragonflies wherever you would like. I actually might add another one, 3 instead of just the 2. I want him to just come off of over here like that. Okay, that's pretty good. And then one more. I'm gonna take my little masking here. I'm gonna mask off my corner, and let's see, let's do that. There we go. There's our dragonflies flying around. So we've got that done. Let's go ahead and close this up. I'm gonna clean my little dragonfly here. Alright, now it's time for coloring. So let me tell you the colors that I used to color the, oh, I still got some more stamping. I missed my grass down here at the bottom. Let's bring that back up here. Down at the bottom there's grass around the well. So let's grab that grass again. Put that over here. And let's do one right there. I'm going to come right up to the other grass like that. I think I came down a little farther in stamping on this one, but and then let's bring the grass here and right there. That works. That works all right. Okay, we'll go with that. All right, now let's color. Coloring does not take very long, and really you can look like a pro coloring and just not be a pro. These alcohol blends are just phenomenal. Okay, let me grab them and see what colors we're going to use. I'm going to use the crumb cake and the gray granite, making sure gray granite and gray granite. And I'm going to use the granny apple green, blends. So here's the light one and the dark. And I'm going to use the Timid Tiger, light Timid Tiger. And what else? I think that's all the colors. Okay. So let's just color. This one is crumb cake. So I'm going to use the brush tip end. And I'm just going to, well, my brush tip, can you see that, how it's light? That's because it's used up. So, right? Wait a minute, this doesn't look like, yeah, I guess it is. Okay, this is my light crumb cake, so I'm just going to, I need a new one, but I'm just gonna color this is the best that I can. This part of the wood, this post. Okay. Yeah, I need a new crumb cake for sure. I'm gonna see if I can color with the other end. I don't know if it's any better. A little bit. All right, yeah, let's just color this all in because it's pretty light, and I'm gonna use the dark and do a little bit of shading on this, but I wanted that a little bit darker. There we go. With that, and then let's grab the dark crumb cake here. I'm going to use the bullet tip end. Whoops, that's the brush tip. I don't want that. I want the bullet tip. There we go. I'm going to color right here where the wood is at, and any place that there's like little lines that show that it might be a little darker, I'm just going to just lightly touch it there and color that in, just to give it some of that highlight look. Okay, just like that. And then next, actually, I need to color my bucket, my little bucket here. So let's come underneath. And I'm just gonna kind of go like to the side a little bit. I need that light crumb cake. Oh, my lid is just flew. One moment here. I have a flying lid. I must not have pushed it on there hard enough on the brush tip. Okay, crumb cake. Okay, we're just going to come in here with the crumb cake, and I'm just going to go right over the dark and just bring that little bit of light. I don't know if you can see the shading. Yeah, you can see the difference in the shading there. Yeah? Okay. There, that is that. Next, let's color in our flowers, and those are Timid Tiger. I was going to use the petal pink, same as the two-tone cardstock, but they just didn't, it wasn't quite bright enough, I didn't think, so I decided to use the Timid Tiger. Alright, let's go ahead, and I think we, let's use the dark on this one for our leaves. I guess you could make it those different flowers too, but then you got to have some greenery in there somewhere because all flowers have green leaves. Okay, so while I'm at it, I'm going to take this green and I'm just going to like flick up onto the grass pieces. Okay, and give it that darker. Then we're going to take the light and we're going to color the light in underneath. So I am going to take the brush tip on the light, and I'm actually going to come right here, and I'm going to come right to the edge. I'm going to go right down to the bottom and just swipe and color that in, right up to there. Kind of like the grass, just comes right up to the well, or the ground, or however you want to say it. Just like that. Super easy. Okay, now we're ready for the brick and the top, I guess. Alright, so we have dark gray granite, and I'm gonna just do the same kind of thing. There's a line here, kind of there, and there's dots on here. So I'm just gonna dot where I see dots with the gray. And I don't know if I did this on the other one. Yeah, I guess I did when I look at it. So if you're wondering how I color, this is it. I kind of use what's already in the stamp to, you know, choose to where to put the colors. Right here's some dark there, and go like that, and there. I think I'm going to pull a little bit of dark underneath, like you know, the shadow under the roof or shingles or whatever you want to call these. I don't know. Right up here. So underneath, just right underneath, I'm just giving a little bit of the dark. Okay? Just kind of flicking it downward. I hope you can see that. Bring it up a little closer. See? Now I'm going to go back with the light. And I'm going to stick with the brush tip because that's what well, actually, usually the brush tip is a little bit lighter than the bullet point. So I think I'm going to go with that. Yeah, it looks like I need this one too. This one needs to be replaced too. So I'm trying to I'm going on the side of my brush tip so I can get the color. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Boy, I didn't realize I had used this color so much. But what I'm doing is just continuing with the light gray granite, and I'm bringing it up to the dark gray granite. I put underneath the, you know, each layer, put it that way, I guess. Okay. All right, let's see if you can see if you can see the different tones there. I don't know. It's hard to tell on here, I think. All right, so next, let's just go ahead and color this all in. You can see that usually this would just fill in so fast if my blend was not running out. Okay, you shouldn't hear squeaky either. It's running. It squeaks when it's running out. That's the deal. So that's a clue too. Besides frustration in not getting the two tones. Okay, I think I got them all. Alrighty. So there we go. We are good. All right, there is our coloring. So coloring is all done. And let's put our card together. Put that over here. Okay. I am going to put dimensionals, pop up this with the dimensionals right here. We're also going to put dimensionals on our little sentiment. That's why I've got small and large dimensionals here, because the small ones fit great. Like one will go right there, there, and let's do one here. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut a little piece. I already got one that's kind of halfway cut here. Maybe this one will fit here perfect. Okay. Yep. There we go. Excuse me. And then we're going to do large for our arch. And because it's pretty big, you want to use several of your dimensionals on this one. And I think one more right there. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and put our layers together. Finalize our beautiful creation. Okay. So let's bring this in here. And of course you want to get on the other side of your ribbon. And I'm going to bring this down, making sure I have space for my sentiment. That's the thing. All right, so there's our card. There, and then this one. Let's go ahead and put the sentiment on, and this card is complete. Wishing you a magical day. Just like that. There you go. That's card number 2. Nice. Alrighty. What did I do with my card? 3 was really fun. I liked this one quite a bit. I colored a scene. Okay, I did use the Lazy Daisy embossing folder in your kit, and so there's that. Whoops, it's kind of out of the picture, isn't it? There. Okay, so here's what we have. I did do a little prep work on this one, just so you didn't have to watch me color all 3 buckets and cut out all 3 buckets. But this is for our sentiment. This is our little masking. I'm going to put over here out of the way. So you have a piece to stamp your buckets. You're going to stamp those and color them and cut them out. Now this one, I'm going to, before I do the measurements, so you've got a scrap for your buckets. So let me go ahead and get my, let's see here. I believe I used, this is the light pecan. Okay, and I'm just going to color this barrel or bucket, whatever you want to call it. Alrighty, so that's what I used, and then I used the light lemon lime twist and the dark Poppy Parade to color my flowers. And then when you're cutting this out, because this is like a bucket of potted flowers, it's not hanging from the well on this card, you're going to cut that top piece right off. The little stem that's kind of sticking up there, it's a rope. So cut that right off as you are cutting around your bucket. Okay? Alright. Let's get that cut. Just like that. And around the corner. Alright. Alright, so I've got 3 of my buckets here. I'm going to put them over here. Right there. Okay, that's my little scrap. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is sending sunshine and happy wishes. There it is. That's going to be in black. All this is going to be in the black, and we're going to do lots of coloring. Okay, so here we go. I know it's boring watching me color, but I wanted you to see how I achieved the different things that you see on the card. Okay, so there's that. All right, so you've got a, so this little piece here is 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4. Okay, for our sentiment. So let's put that up here. Then you have a layered piece here. The white is 3 by 3. So then this Poppy Parade is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then your layer is 2-tone cardstock, which is Pool Party. And that is 4 by 5 1/4. And it is already embossed for you. Okay? So there's that. Now, when you're stamping, you have to think about, okay, how many rocks you want to show, how much sky you want to show when you're doing this the stamping, the scenery, I guess is the way to put it. So we need the rocks, we need the fence and grass. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, so let me get these here and get that over here out of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp my fence, because that'll tell me how far up and down I want to be. Let's see if I can move that there a little bit. I know. Move these here. I'm going to move my ink right there. Okay, so these, I will tell you that when I stamp these rocks for the pebbles or whatever you want to call stones for the first time, it's kind of weird because they're at an angle. Oh, I didn't want to do that first, but anyway, let's go here. Let's go with the fence. All right, so I have stamped 4 of the fences across, and so I'm going to come down a little farther. Let's see, there's my, so there's 1, and I'm going to try to go right next to each other. and not be too crooked. And then 3, and then the other half of this side. Let's see, right there. Okay, so there's my fence. Okay, it's not perfect, but it looks good. Now the pebbles. All I did is I just started in one spot. Okay, and so I came right up to the fence and I just stamped. All right. So you're going to do that all the way across. Now, let's see. There we go. And then just make sure that you go all the way to the edge. See there? Building the scenery. That's what we're doing. We're building the scenery. Now, I did go ahead and take there's a little bit of grass as you stamp that, but I wanted a little more. So I'm going to come in, and where there is, I'm just going to add grass in here, random. Okay. You don't have to do that, but I just thought it gave a little more interest in the project. Okay, so there's that. Okay, there is our stamping. That is the stamping that we needed to do. So let's get this out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and clean these really quick. A good old stained up, well-loved chamois. Okay. Now all we have to do is color. I've already colored these and cut them out, and we're going to pop those up in the end. Coloring, again, I use the crumb cake. I use the dark crumb cake. So let me get that. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. I have another crumb cake here, but I don't know if it's new. Yeah, this one looks like it's better. Okay, this is the dark crumb cake. I think I'm going to start with the light, just to be safe. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, I think I want the light. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly color my fence. And maybe the dark is what I want. This is pretty light. I did, you know, when you do your samples a while before you create the video, sometimes you forget what you use, right? And I think that's what I did. I wasn't sure. Okay. Get these bottom pieces of the fence. All right, now I am going to go with the dark, and I'm going to make these darker, these side pieces. Just like that. I wonder, I'm going to take the bullet tip and see if I can make these a little darker. I think I'm just going to kind of go and add some lines in there because, you know, wood has lines, right? So I think we'll do that and make this just a tad darker. They were pretty light. That fence was pretty light. And I wanted to have some contrast with the rocks. And I am going to color those with some gray, with the gray. And let me grab those pieces here. So, gray granite, and I am going to grab the smoky slate so we have some different color in the rocks. Okay, so let's start with the smoky slate. This one is I think it's actually a little bit darker. So let's go ahead and just color in some of the rocks. And again, you know, you choose which ones you want to have the lighter and darker, whichever you like. Alright, so there is a few of the dark. Okay. And that is actually Smoky Slate. I didn't tell you that at the beginning, but that's what I just used. Alright, now this is the gray granite. So it's not a whole lot different, but you can see a difference in the color right next to each other. So I don't think I'm going to do a lot of those. I'm going to go with the lighter one now. Alright. How crazy is that? Do I have the wrong color here? Nope, this is gray granite. Huh. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead with these others in the lighter gray granite. You can see that it is lighter, but when you need something a little lighter, that's why you need the color lifter. Okay? And let me show you how. You just take your color lifter. You can use the bullet tip or the brush tip. I'm going to go with the brush tip. I'm going to make this some of these a little bit lighter, so I'm just going to go right over top. And what it does is it pulls some of that color away, and it lightens the color. You might not see it right away. It is wet. It is there. It is. I'm not seeing it do its thing like I'm wanting. Anyway, there's enough contrast there. I think what we'll do, I'm going to come back in with the darker and just make a few more, you know, a lot darker. How's that? 'Cause I want some more contrast in here. There. Let's go over there. There we go. It's not a big deal once we get that green in there, but so can you see the differences? Some colors are lighter and darker. That's what I was trying to go for. All right, so next we are going to go ahead and pull in, we have the light lemon lime twist, and then I have the granny apple green dark and light. Let's see, did I pull in? I also pulled in some old olive to give a different color in there. So let's start with the light. I'm not going to use the lemon lime on this one. Let's start with the light, and I'm just going to come in here and put that color down in between. Okay? And I'm not being I am not being super fussy here. All I'm doing is adding this in here. And it's okay to leave some white because I'm going to come back in. Maybe I will come back in with the lighter lemon lime. I don't know. There, you can see that I left some white in there. I'm going to come up around here with this. I'm actually coloring pretty messy, to be honest with you. Alright, so this is the light granny apple. And I'm coming in with the lemon lime, and I'm just going to go in where there's some white spots and add this lemon lime. Fill this all in. You can color however you want, you know. This is just what I did. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in with the old olive, and I'm going to color that onto the bigger, this grass here that I did. Just, you can see some difference in the color. There's a few of the little grass on these stones, and I will just add it like there too. Like right here's, you know, little tiny spots. Here's one, there's one. Okay, so really, I'm just giving some good contrast in the coloring. See that? It looks darker in person than what it's looking on the camera to me. Okay, last but not least, we are going to go ahead and do some pool party. And we're going to color our sky. So I'm actually going to start with the light. I'm going to start with the light, and the sky is going to just, all I'm doing is lightly touching this on here. Okay. And yes, I want the streaks because I want it to look like the sky. Now I am going to come in here and I'm just going to see how, because the fence, there's sky back here, I'm just going to put the pool party in between, because the sky meets the, what do you want to say? The sky meets the ground. Alright, get that color in there. And you can see all I'm doing is just giving that little bit of color so that it's not stark white in between the fence. Alright, so there's the light. Now I'm going to come in with the dark, and I'm going to kind of add a little more in here, and just so that it kind of, that's pretty dark, but anyway, I think I'm going to come back with the light because that's a little darker than what I was expecting. Darn it. Alright, let's do this. Oh well. It still looks pretty. It's going to look great with the background. Okay, there we are. Coloring done. Now we're ready to layer this onto our Poppy Parade. Just like so. And I got that crooked. Let's try this again. Alright, let's get this like it's supposed to be. There we go. That's much better, Barb. Okay. Now let's just put our pots on here, and let's grab the big dimensionals. I think the big will fit right on there. And one. Actually, the smaller ones might be better. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the smaller ones. These are pretty huge on there. But I am going to use 2 on each one because one little one might not be enough. Whoops. Come on. There we go. And one more. Oh yeah, small works much better. Alright, let me get this. And I have one that is popped up. Actually, I did not pop them all up, did I? No, I sure did not. Okay, so I'm going to put, let's put one pot right there. I'm going to put this one flat. So I'm going to take this dimensional off. I don't know if I can use it again. We're going to put this one flat. You can pop them all up if you want to. I don't think I want them all popped up. Alright, so that pot's going to go there, and then we have another pot right here, and waste my dimensionals. There we go. This one's going to go flat too. You can pop them up if you want. I think it looks better flat. That's the reason I didn't pop them all up. Okay, and then this pot's just going to kind of go over here because I kind of did it so that one of the gates open and the pots are not right at the opening gate. So that's what I did. That was my thinking. So I need this one over a little bit because that's the opening gate, and then this pot will just kind of go over here. And then the last thing you're going to do is, we have our sentiment that we already stamped. You're going to take your Poppy Parade, and this is a way to make it look like you have a layer behind your white. You just take, go up towards this part, not the tip, okay, more in the fatter part. And I just lay it down and go right on the edge, just like that. And then just bring that and go all the way, and you hold it at an angle so you don't get it in your writing. And then this makes the red, makes it look like you have a layer of red all around your sentiment. Okay? Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Here, maybe if I bring it up against the, there, I know you, there you can see it. Okay? Alright, and so this does get popped up. This piece does. So there, and there, and there. And let's put this down first. This is going to go onto our beautiful embossed piece. That's what I want to say. Okay, just like that. And these colors look so good together. That's Pool Party and Poppy Parade. And then this will come right over here to the side, sending sunshine and happy wishes. And let's go ahead and get this. I'm just being careful because when you have a piece of cardstock embossed, sometimes the adhesive tends to like grip on it and will pull the paper right off of the right onto the adhesive. I did not fold this. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and then scored it 4.25. Put that there. There we go. And this card is done. Okay. There we go. Card number 3. All right. So the next card is an easier one, I think. But I think it is a pretty one. And let's grab the parts and pieces here. Here is our next card. And pull this in here. You got your die cut pieces. We're going to be using the flowers and the dragonfly again. Where are you? Sending sunshine and happy wishes again. Right there. So we are going to go ahead. And your pieces are 3 3/4 by 5, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 3 3/4 by 5. And then 4 by 5 1/4 is your Poppy Parade. So let's just put that right on here. This paper is from Mixed Up Patterns. I love that paper. I've used it on a lot of my lives. So it is a very versatile paper. Okay, just like that. Alright, so we're going to set this aside. And we got our ribbon over here. And this is our card base. 8.5, 5.5, basic white. And let's do this. Let's go ahead and put this down because there's no ribbon on the backs around it. So, okay. Let's do that. And okay, now we're going to set this aside. We're going to take one of our die cuts, and we're going to use the basic black, not the basic black barb, Memento Black. Goodness. And we're going to stamp the tulips. Now, I'm going to start in the middle, right here, and I'm just going to stamp just like that. Okay? The idea is that you don't have the stems like floating in the air. Okay? And I'll move that down a little bit. Let's bring that here. And one more, just like that. Okay, so there's the flowers. I am going to go ahead and stamp with the black since I have it open, and find my sunshine happy wishes again. Now what I want to do is, this is going to see how that's going to come over top of right here. So I want to make sure that I have my sentiment up high enough that I'm not going to cover it when I put these layers together. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Move this way. All right. There we go. Beautiful. Just like that. Yay! I love it. Okay, and next will be our little dragonflies. So this guy can come over here out of the way. Here's our dragonfly. I'm going to be using, now I did use a blender pen here. You can use a Wink of Stella. I think I'll use I'm going to grab my blender pen and take my little dragonfly and just stamp a few of those coming off the flowers. So how about right there? And when you use the blender pen, you will want to make sure that you want to color it in right after you, and it works best with dark colors. Color it in right after you have, see how it's colored in there? Given it some color. You want to do it right after you stamp because the ink is still, it has not completely soaked into the paper. Alright, so let's get this guy. I'm going to bring him, that he's kind of coming down into the flowers there, kind of towards the flowers. And then I'm going to use my little sticky note again. If I have the bigger piece, I don't see the bigger piece. I'm just going to grab another one. I have it right here. I am going to kind of mask this off so that his little thingies don't come down into the flower. Actually, oh no, that'll work, that'll work. I'll just come right like this. There we go. Just like that. Now that was perfect. Okay, let's color that in so that we've got that color too. Okay, and then when you're done using your blender pen in your inks, you want to just sideways roll it so that you don't break down the tip of your blender pen. Okay, there's that. All right, we are ready to clean these stamps. Okay. The hardest card, I think, was the duck, and that's because of coloring the duck. So, all right, here I have, where's my yellow? I thought I had a yellow here. I did not pull my yellow, but I'm going to pull my granny apple. Pull my granny apple in here, and my light Poppy Parade, and let's go with any kind of yellow you have, only to coordinate with the paper, that's all. This is the light daffodil. Is that what I want? Let me just double check on my scrap. No, that's too light. My light daffodil is too light. Let's check the dark daffodil if that's what I want. Yep, that's a little darker. That's what I want. So, let's go with that. All right, so I'm just going to random, put some yellow in here. There's a lot of little flowers. Let's see. There. Just color to your heart's desire. Just make sure you got a good balance in there of your yellows and your reds, that's all. Let's see here, we need a little yellow there, maybe right there. Okay. I'll start putting in the red or the Poppy Parade, and then I might come back and see if I need more of the yellows. Super easy coloring, honestly, really easy. I'll do that one in yellow. Bring it red there. I am going to bring in the dark Poppy Parade and then highlight this a little bit because these little flowers, they do show some good, some spots that are good for contrast. Like there's a tiny little dot in here. I'm going to do that. And I'll do some of them a little bit darker. How's that? Yeah, I'll mix it up this time. It's a little dark. There's a little dark one. Here we go. A little bit darker. Fun coloring. Did I miss any? I think the rest are leaves. Oh, there's one little one, looks like. Okay. Now let's come in with our green. And just finish off with the leaves. It is easy coloring. They're just lots of images. Alright. Just like, oops, there's some more leaves. Missed those. And then let me grab this lemon lime. Is this the lemon lime? That's the granny apple. And that's old olive. That's not what I want. I think I used it. Okay. I don't know. We're going to use this one. This is the dark granny apple. All I'm going to do is come in and put some green. Oh, this one's the one that didn't work. Okay, let's go with this side. I guess I need to do a little more inventory check. I'm just bringing green down at the bottom with the stems. Coloring this in. There we go. That's good. Just to get that green kind of at the bottom of our flowers. So pretty. And I think that is it. That's the coloring on this one. Super easy. Okay, let's put these together. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to, well, okay, this one I did the same thing. I took my Poppy Parade and I went around the outside here. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We are just going around the edges to make it look like an extra layer. Super easy. I did it on these guys too, the one that I colored in. I like this technique. I think I'm going to leave the green so that it's not red at the bottom of the green. I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, now if you wanted to stamp on the inside of the card, just remember that unless you put another layer in here, you're going to see the coloring through the back side of your card, so you might not want to do that. Just FYI. Okay, so let's go ahead and think about, okay, how we're going to put this kind of right here. Then this is going to come right there, and we are going to pop this one up. So let's go ahead and put this one down flat. That's your sentiment. And right there. And then let's pop this up with the large dimensionals. And then you have some of the gold twine, gold and white twine, that's in a pack with the, it was from the Christmas line, but it is beautiful with tons of other projects. So don't just use it for Christmas. I'm going right to the edge over here, bringing that in just like that. So nice, so pretty. Mini glue dot for the bow. And I just pre-did the bow, so I don't know if I pre-did your bow or not. I may have just given you an extra amount of twine in there in your envelope. Goodness, can't get that rolled up very well. Okay, let's get this off of here. Okay, And then the bow is going to go over on this side, trying not to cover up the words, but filling in that little bit of a gap. There we go. And then last, let's use our little dots. These are the deer dots. I believe that they're on clearance now for a pretty good price. If you like them, they've got some good color choices in here. And let's pull these out. And these are the Poppy Parade colors, so it goes perfect with our cardstock. All right, so we have 1, 2, and 3 right there. All right, there is card number 3. We're getting there. This is a little bit of a long class, I have to tell you, but it will be. When you do coloring, it just takes a minute, right? And that's what we have done here. So, all right, there's our card. All right, the next card is actually the ducks, and we are going to actually that's our last card, the ducks. This is the ducks, okay? So cute. I did use the I don't know, I can't think of the name of it, but all of this one is embossing folder is on the last chance list. If you like it, go grab it. If it's still there. A lot of the embossing folders are not in the new catalog coming out in May. This piece is 2 inches. This is Pool Party, 2 inches by 4 1/4. And then this piece is Lemon Lime Twist, which is 5 by 3 3/4. And then we have a piece of Gray Granite, which is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And this is our card base that we're going to stamp our ducks on. This is 1 5/8 by 3 1/4. Then you have your sentiment, 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. You might need to cut it down if you're gonna do the. We're just gonna use a portion of the sentiment. That's the reason for this right here. So, all right. So let's put these over here. We're gonna do the coloring. This is our card base, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. You know, scored it 4 1/4. Our basic. Okay. I'm just going to put those over to the side. Let's get our coloring done. First thing I'm going to do, I am actually going to take our black. We are going to put this over here for a minute. Make sure that you can still see. I think I've been really good making sure that you can stay in seeing in here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the duck. Okay, the first duck. That duck is going to be laying down. That's the reason I have it right here. It looks like it's laying down in the grass, and that's what I want. So I don't want the legs to show on this one. So there we go. Okay, and we're going to add the stones in here next. And let's grab those, and we're just going to do, you know, a few of them. And just like that, we're going to, these guys, how did I do these? Let's go ahead, I'm going to stamp 2 of them like that. And let's come over here, and we're going to, let's do that, okay, on the stones. We need another duck, and this duck is going to be standing right here in the grass, just like that. Alrighty, here's what I got up close. Next, we are going to stamp this funky looking bush, but that's what it is. We are going to go ahead and we're going to stamp one right there. We're going to come underneath and stamp right there. This one I'm going to come up sideways, like that. And just gonna cover these like they're bushes, whatever they are. Okay, like they're coming up to those. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to take the grass and we're going to make this look like the pond behind them here, and we're going to do that by doing the filler of the grass, okay? Gotta concentrate here for a minute. Oh, poo, I did that ugly. Okay. We're just going to fill in the grass all behind here. I'm going to do one more like right there. And so it kind of will look like marshy dirt, kind of whatever. Looks like I did a little bit of grass here, like that. And then right down here. And then right here by the feet, kind of like that. Awesome! Okay, next we have Happy Wishes. So let's find Happy Wishes in our sentiment. And right here, it's sending sunshine and happy wishes. So what we're going to do is we are going to get some tape, and we're going to tape off this part, and so we're taping off all the words except for happy wishes, okay? And then there's an and sign here we gotta cover up too. Now, of course, if you have your marker and you want to use your black marker, you can do that. But basically, my happy wishes is all that's showing. I'm going to ink that up so that that is what I want. Now, before I stamp it onto my piece here, I'm going to take this tape off because I don't want that nonsense to be on my sentiment. Make sure I'm inked up good there. Okay, so now just pull all of these pieces off so that you don't get this on your, if I can get a hold of it, so you don't get this on your card. Gracious, Barb. There we go. There we go. I knew it would come off once I could get a hold of it. All right, Happy Wishes it is, and that's going to get stamped right in the middle so that I can do banner tip. And I'm a little bit high, but it's okay. I can survive with that. All right. Now for the coloring. And this is the last one. Last one. So you know that you can pause, stop, go, speed up, whatever you want to do here. Because you can do your coloring. Now I will color this duck first so that we can see kind of what that is supposed to look like, the guy duck, okay? So I am taking Lost Lagoon, and let's see here, is this the light? This is Pool Party. Pool Party, we're going to go ahead and we're going to color the water. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to do that, okay? Color in some of this as the water. And just like so. And then I'm going to get the, what's my other one here? This one. This is Light Pool Party. I need the light pool party and come in here with that. Okay, and all I'm doing is kind of filling in where there's some white space. And I'm just trying not to get into my duck's face. Into my duck space. How's that? Onto the duck. Like that. Okay. And it just makes it look like it's water all around the duck. to be honest with you. There's that. And then, let me grab, I'm going to be using some brown, crumb cake, gray. So grays and crumb cake and browns. I'm going to just grab those up here. We're going to be using, what did I do here? I think I have this is the light Lost Lagoon. I think that is correct. I don't think I used the dark. Okay, I'm going to put the dark back. So I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to use my bullet tip end, and I'm going to color the top part of my duck's head. Okay, I'm going to leave a little ring neck there. Okay, so there's his head. And then I am going to come in with the pecan pie. And I'm going to leave that little white space there, and I'm just going to come in and do this pecan down towards the front of him. Okay, kind of go over that a couple times. I'm going to come in and just give her a little bit of the pecan right there. Okay, now let's go with, I believe it's my crumb cake, honestly. I'm going to take the bullet tip crumb cake of the dark. We're going to see if this is what we want. No, that's a little dark, but that's okay. We'll just leave that dot. That's not what I want. I'm going to come in with the light and see if that's what I want. No, golly, that is dark too. Okay, well, guess what? We're going to go with the gray. This is the dark gray granite. I want the light and I'm going to start out with the light. Because again, you can't, oh, this is my crumb cake right here. This is my light crumb cake. What is this? This is dark crumb cake and dark crumb cake. Oh, you know why? Because I pulled those over. Those new ones, I pulled them over. That's why. Gracious. Okay. Okay. All right, well, let's go with this. The light crumb cake. Okay, that is what I want. I want the light here. So I'm just gonna color that in. I'm gonna color all of her in with the light, the rest of her with the light crumb cake right over the pecan. So that's not, there we go. Now, when I've seen these guys out in my yard, we have a little pond area behind us. The ducks are really kind of you know, brownish, the lady duck is, and so I'm going to bring this gray. This is gray, and I'm going to bring this gray in on him because he is a little different color here. There we go. All right, that looks good. I think I'm going to come in with the dark again right here on her wings. And then back with the light because I don't like that. This is the light crumb cake, so I'm going to just come in here and color right over that to try to smooth that together. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's get this gray going with these stones. This is the dark smoky slate. So I'm going to go ahead and just color this. These stones are dark. And let's go ahead and color these bushes. I think I got all of this out. I do need the crumb cake again. So let's see, we need dark crumb cake and light crumb cake, those two. Now we need some greens, and I'm going to pull in the old olive this time. And let's see, old olive, what else do I have here? Granny apple, light and dark old olive. Okay, I pulled the right ones. Okay, we're going to start out and we're going to do the light granny apple, and I'm going to just color these first in the light. And you know what? They don't have to be exact, just because we're gonna, you know, do some blending, so you don't have to have everything exact. So there's that. Let's bring this old olive in here, and let me see if I can kind of. I'm just touching this on these little spots that look like part, you know, the bush, top of it, and just like that. Then I'm going to come in here, and I'm actually just going to pull some of this color, just fill it in. We're going to make several, you know, different greens going on in here. And I want some brown up in there too, because I want it to look kind of like dirt. Let's take this one and get some lighter color in there. And this is lemon lime, so I think that's what I had going on with these guys. So I'm going to pull this lemon lime in here, see if that brightens it up at all. Not much. Nope, guess not. Okay. We have to have the beak, and that is the Timid Tiger that we had used earlier, so I'm just going to do Timid Tiger with the beaks and with his little feet down here. And let's see, we need to come back in with some of the green right here that I forgot, I missed, right in there. And let's go back with the light crumb cake and just kind of fill in there so there's no white showing. I don't want the white to show, because you're out in the marsh and the, you know, where the ducks like to hide. Alright, get this in here. And before I'm done, I'm going to take the, his neck is not white enough, and so I am going to take the color lifter, and I'm just going to kind of go across here and pull some of that color away, so it's a little bit lighter right there. And as it sits, it starts getting lighter. All right. I want to come in with this light. Is this the light? That's the dark. I want the light pool party, Barb. The light pool party, where are you? Light, that's dark. There's light. I'm gonna take I just want to come in here a little bit more with this color. You could fuss all night long if you wanted to, but just a tad. See, I forgot between his legs there too. I'm glad I did come back and look. Okay. Okay. A little bit up there. Okay. All right. I think I got it. It's going to come out, everybody's is going to come out just a little bit different, but there you have your mama and your daddy. Maybe their nest is over in here, right? Coloring is done. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, last card. So now we're ready to put all this together. Happy wishes. Let's go ahead and banner tip this one. And let's just go like there. I am concentrating, that's why I got quiet. There we go. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit. It's easier to come in there. Okay. Alright. One more. There we go. Alright. We're ready to put our card together. Let's lay that right there. So we have our card base. We are going to start out with the gray granite, and that's going to be layered over to the right side, giving you some equal shapes around. And then we have our lemon lime twist, I believe. That's going to go to the left to give you some interest there. So yeah, you're not going to see a whole lot of the color, but oops, I forgot. Before this goes down, we got to have our ribbon around here. So let me grab the ribbon over here. This ribbon needs to, I'm just going to put it, all right. So let's grab our, before we go on, grab your silicone mat because your sticky won't get on anything else. This has to go on next, then the ribbon. Think about my layers here. All right, so this, just a little bit on that side there. Okay. Now we can do our ribbon. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, let's bring this down here. And this one is just a little faux bow or whatever you want to call it. Just a knot. No bow, but you have plenty, so if you want a bow, you can make one. Okay, there's that. Let me get my ribbon scissors here. Ooh. And there. Okay, now we can move forward. Take that off of there, and this can go right here over to the left with just a little bit of white. And then we are going to pop this up with our larger dimensionals. Just like that. And this is gonna go right above our, this one's going to be a little higher, I guess. I went a little higher with my, I should have pulled my ribbon down farther, but that's okay. Every card is going to be a little different, right? So let's come right there, just like that. Let's pop this up. And believe it or not, that's our 4 cards. Now, yes, there was a lot of coloring in here, and so that's what took us just a minute, right? Happy wishes. Okay. I put happy wishes because it made me think husband and wife, and maybe it's a, maybe they're having ducklings. Okay, so there you go. There are the, I'll bring it closer. There's the one that you can see now how that ribbon came out. This is the one I just did, not ribbon, where how it took away the highlighter, gives you the ring neck, I guess. Okay, there you go. All right, let's move all this stuff out of the way and just give you a still shot of all the cards. Move these over if I can. Get some space. All right, so we have our card 4. See if I can get them all in here. Card number 4. Card 3. Oh no, that was card number 5. 5, 4. Here's 3. Card number 3. And card number 2. I can get it up in there. There we go. Come up there a little more. And card number 1. So you had 5 cards, and with the stamp set for your flash class with Make-A-Wish. So I hope that you enjoyed the long video tutorial, but I think that's about the only way you can do it, when you're creating some fun stuff. and just the different techniques in the coloring. And there you go. Thanks so much. I appreciate your business, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.